Video might actually make you sad, but it is what it is. Welcome to Nanyacim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for always coming back to watch my videos. You all are the very best. So today is actually about a black man that was killed by 5 black cops, right? And majority of black people are condemning it, right? And also it's more like everybody, both white and black, are condemning that. I love the energy, but I also pray that they also apply the same energy they use in coming out to speak about how the black cops murder the black man. I hope they apply the same energy when a white man kills a black man, because I did not see this kind of energy when it was Floyd's own. Anyways, let's get into this video. Do not go anywhere. Let's talk about it.
Person, I have fucking questions, but you know what? I will save them and let other people ask them for me, because I'm just lost.
An internal police investigation concluding the officers violated department policies, including
Tyre Nichols was beaten until he became unrecognizable. Now, we want to take you back out live to Memphis, Tennessee, but again, viewer discretion is advised. Again, we're continuing to go through the video clips that shows what exactly happened to Tyre Nichols, and we will bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox.
No peace! No peace!
Police footage from brutal beating. Wow.
And this is really a very sad story, and I thought we are looking out for one another. I thought we are, like, being there for one another. I mean, if you hurt your brother, what will you gain from that? If you hurt your own brother, yes, what will you gain from, inflicting pain on your own brothers? I also like the fact that black community, everybody's coming out to condemn this, and even Nicholas was beaten to the extent that I think his kidney failed him. You can imagine that kind of beating and all that. But then the way everybody is uniting and fighting against these, the black cops also, I hope that energy also they will apply. I am not saying what the cops did is, no, I am not at all. They did a very horrible thing, and whatever justice says, that is what they are gonna get. Yes. And I hope the same energy will also be applied, when a white man does the same thing, yeah, that is what and then we are going to go into the stitches and see what people are saying about this. So straight up, let's get into it.
You see how a majority of the black community is not defending these 5 cops? Notice how a majority of us, a large majority of us, are not defending them for what they did to that boy. If not all of us, majority of us are not defending them. They deserve whatever justice is coming to them. They deserve to be locked away for a very long time. What we did notice, though, is that the country as a whole is pretty united in that all these men should be punished. Police officers all over the country are saying, I stand with Tyre Nichols. These men deserve to be punished. They deserve to be locked away. Okay, that's great. Where was that unity when it came to Derek Chauvin, the man who had his knee on George Floyd's neck? Where was that when it came to the 3 men who killed Ahmaud Arbery? Right now, the black community is extremely upset because these men have already been charged with second-degree murder. None of that morality. Oh, they were in fear of their lives. None of that is happening right now. They've been charged. They've been fired from their jobs. No paid leave, no nothing. Nobody's trying to spin a media narrative that these men deserve the benefit of the doubt, because they don't. They don't. They deserve to go to jail. They killed that boy. And before you say, oh, well, black on black crime and the black community needs to do more for ourselves, first of all, we literally do that. We have community organizations, anti-violence organizations, anti-gang organizations, anti-anything that will get us locked up or thrown in jail or killed at a young age organizations. We have debates, we have thought forums, public forums, literally all over the internet. If you took some time to research our community, not even just research the modern black community, engage in the modern black community. We do take steps to fix the problems that have existed in our community for years. Black African people in Africa and across the diaspora, we've always been aware of our own internal issues within our communities. Fact of the matter is, within government and law systems created by white people don't perceive themselves as aggressive or as a threat. In both of these cases, these men swore they were in fear of their lives and they were just trying to protect themselves, despite the fact that this one had his knee on the victim's neck the whole time, and these two were the only ones there who were armed with shotguns. And it doesn't just happen in the States. Last year, when the whole Russia-Ukraine situation popped off, all these European media outlets were like, how could this happen here? This type of war and bloodshed doesn't happen in Europe. This type of thing doesn't happen here. How could this happen here? Once again, all 5 of these men deserve to go to jail. They murdered that boy. My only question now is, y'all are gonna be this swift when a white cop commits police brutality, right? Right? Or do you have to do that mandatory check to see if they were in fear for their lives before you convict them?
I'm pretty sure the question we all want to ask is, how do you tell black people that Black Lives Matter? Tyre Nichols was brutally beaten and unalived by 5 Memphis police officers this month. In what was said to be originally a traffic stop that then turned into a chase, the police caught him, pulled him over, and apparently he went into custody. But he never made it to jail because they unalived him before he got there. Beat him so bad that he went into cardiac arrest and his kidneys failed. His parents said that he was unrecognizable. The family had to demand for the Memphis Police Department to release the video. And then when they actually saw it, they said it was worse than George Floyd. So bad that they're telling Memphis to prepare for protests and businesses to get destruction insurance. Beat him so bad that 10 days after he was unalived, the Memphis Police Department did not put these individuals on paid administrative leave. They actually terminated them. If they were palm-colored officers, they probably would be on administrative leave. But that just goes to show you how when you are a black individual, race is always against you. Even when you think that badge is going to protect you. These individuals look like Tyre, like his brother, like his cousin, like an uncle. And yet, instead of being my brother's keeper, instead they beat him like they found him in the backwoods of Tennessee and it's 1938. I hate to say it, but I've not really seen a lot of black men talk about this issue. I will say I've seen some, but it's like because they're going to prosecute black men for unaliving a black man, y'all don't want to touch it. Where's the level of accountability that you want your fellow black man to have in this situation? This would be the really good time for you all to be the leaders that you so say you want to be or are in our community. This would be a really good time to put your passports down and get on the picket line. Because I've seen way more non-black people talk about this than actual black men. Boils down to the fact that black men just literally want to hold the same power that white men have and be able to get away with what white men get away with. Black men are okay with everybody fighting for their honor in the streets because they're not going to get the fuck up and do it. Y'all literally give yourselves a hernia and heartburn trying to defend a black man who actually does belong in jail. Prayers to the Nichols family. I hope every single one of those cops rot under the jail. Black men, do fucking better.
Person, I have fucking questions, but you know what? I will save them and let other people ask them for me.
Does it surprise you that the 5 officers who murdered Tyree Nichols are black? Does this case show that police brutality actually does not have anything to do with race? According to the Memphis police chief, because these officers were black, it takes off the table that issues and problems in law enforcement are about race. But I think that comment is a total miss, and here's why. That analysis shows a very elementary and frankly ahistorical understanding of racism in the US. In every major era of anti-black racism, there have been black perpetrators of direct and in some cases even systemic violence against other black people. For example, we already know that modern-day policing has roots in the system of slave patrols. But even during the era of slavery, there were black overseers who were in charge of watching over other enslaved black people and enacting violence at the sign of trouble or disorder. Does that fact mean slavery had nothing to do with race? Obviously not, and if anything, it shows another layer of insidious complexity of the system of slavery by showing how white supremacy pitted black people against each other to uphold its existence. And moving into the 20th century, some of the worst cases of racism involved black perpetrators. And we don't know too much about them, but there's a clear record that the white relatives of Carolyn Bryant recruited black men to kidnap and murder Emmett Till. Does that make Jim Crow lynchings or Till's specific case any less about race? And in regards to structural violence, during the war on drugs and the war on crime, this book uncovers how it was often black judges and black legislators who enacted some of the worst policies contributing to mass incarceration. And at the same time, one of President Nixon's top aides admitted, "You want to know what this war on drugs was really all about? The anti-war left and black people. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities." So does the involvement of black politicians in this admittedly anti-black and very racist scheme mean it has nothing to do with race? And even more recently, one of the officers who helped murder George Floyd was black. My question still stands. Black agents of white supremacy have existed since before this country, and for almost nearly as long, people in power have used that as a way to deflect accountability from the racist laws, ideas, and social conditioning that make black victims vulnerable to violence from anyone in the first place. So no, the fact that these officers are black does not take race off the table. It's a clear display of how liberal reforms like increasing diversity amongst cops are hugely ineffective at preventing police violence. And by extension, it calls for more solutions that actually do tackle the root issue of these problems. To be clear, that root issue is the very racist criminalization of black communities as an ineffective and violent strategy to manage social failures like homelessness, drug abuse, and mental illness, which have grown out of centuries of race-based disenfranchisement specifically. And it's this racist criminalization that conditions even black officers to dehumanize and kill other black people without cause. If you learned something new, share this video and follow for more.
I wonder if these guys thought they weren't black anymore. They were just blue. No, these black boys in blue may have thought that Blue Lives Matter would have came out and defended them. But little did they know that Blue Lives Matter, no matter how gruesome the situation looks, only matter when it's white boys in blue. You see me? No. If these 5 black boys in blue were 5 white boys in blue, they would have been sent on administrative leave with pay pending investigations. They would not have been fired so quickly. You see me? I hope these 5 bomber-clad sellouts get some of the harshest blood-clad punishments.
Like you heard the last person said, if it were white people, they would have gone on paid leave till the investigation that probably may end up not coming out anytime any day comes out. But because they are black, they were sacked immediately and sent back home without anything. You know, I just want to say this. United we stand, divided we fall. But then also, I want to say, if you are looking for change, you have to be that change you are looking for. Thank you so much for all your support, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.